beans. But, so hi everybody, my name is Chef Juan. I'm from Medellin, Colombia. We're here at El Cielo, Washington, DC in USA. What we wanted to do is to create a recipe that was a dessert. And the reason we wanted to do that is because we wanted to take the beans out of the comfort zone that's usually the salt cuisine, not the pastry. So we decided to create some textures with the beans that we're gonna do today. So we have a black bean rind, which is like a chicharrón, a black bean merengue. We have a vegan merengue too, and a black bean biscuit, and we have whiskey and vanilla ice cream that we made here in the restaurant. That's gonna complement a little bit the dessert. So I'm gonna start. One thing that I wanna share and I mostly like about beans is that beans have a lot of protein and are very, very healthy. My daughter is vegan. She's running around and she has like on all her hemograms and everything. She's very, very healthy. And part of the diet that we have with her are beans, especially because of the protein and because it's a superfood. So we like a lot of cooking with beans for health and also for the recipes. Entonces arranquemos con el chicharrón. So here we have the chicharrón. So we have here 155 grams of beans, already cooked. Water of the beans, we have 75. And we have rice flour. You can replace this recipe in a different quantity with yuca starch, which is a root that also is very easy to replace with. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna blend it. We're gonna put it in a silpat. We're gonna dehydrate it, and then we're gonna deep fry it. We're gonna pass to the chinois.
By the way, if anyone's got any questions for Juanma as he's cooking, feel free to ask as well. We don't have to wait till the end to ask questions.
So what we're gonna do?
So I'd quite like to ask a question about the chinois. So is the chinois a lot more fine than a normal sieve? Is that what makes it different?
This is a, como si fuera una malla. It's a chinois, but not with holes, but mesh.
Ah, okay. So it's not actually whole.
A regular chinois.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
So this is what's gonna happen. And we're gonna take these pieces, each one of them, and we're gonna deep fry them once they are dehydrated. So we're gonna take this one to dehydrate. One time when this happens, we deep fried it, and we have a small like the outside, like the shell of the potato. It looks alike. So trate la cámara. So we have dehydrate between 65 and 85. Sebas, andate explicando el que sigue para que lo empecemos.
¿Lo firmas?
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're gonna start with the microwave biscuit. So we're gonna blend the ingredients. We have black bean puree, have it here. So we have the egg whites, the cream, the sugar, and the flour. And we're gonna do a mix. We're gonna pass it through the shima again, and we're gonna put it in the siphon to do a microwave biscuit. So we're gonna blend here all the ingredients.
So I noticed that you have a Thermomix in your kitchen. Would you be able to use your Thermomix for what you're doing now?
Yes, you can. And if you want to do like kind of like Italian meringue, you can put a little bit of temperature, but it will change the recipe.
Okay.
But yes, you can use it, or you can use the Thermomix without the temperature, because
Yeah,
at the
so
end it works like a blender. Yeah.
So I have a Thermomix, so I would use it without the temperature. Yeah, I'm not aware of how to increase the temperature with the meringue, so that's something I could look at. I've never done that before.
Yeah. So basically, the principle of this biscuit, it's a biscuit invented by Ferran Adrià and Albert Adrià. So basically, what you do, it's you put the gas, or instead of the fermentation that happens in the bread, or the gas that happens with the, ¿cómo se dice? Like baking soda. When you bake, what happens here is you use the nitrogen charges to put the bubbles into the meringue, like in a foam, but this foam has the flour. So once you put it, you have like a raw foam with flour that if you cook it really fast in the microwave, it will like the bubbles will hit faster than oxygen because it's nitrogen, and they will pop more, and it will look like a coral. I'm gonna show you.
Amazing! Wow.
Dani, no sé si me está viendo. Sí, ay, pásame esa espátula. Esto lo metemos. Pásame esa plata. So I'm gonna put it. So basically, we put this. We put it in the fridge. You can put it like half hour. We already put to this one the charges. So I think that's a good start. So no sé si me están viendo. So you have the foam here, and it's very like airy, like with a lot of air. It doesn't weigh too much. We're gonna put it in a regular microwave.
pues, de comerse los chicharroncitos con salsita.
So as you see, it starts cooking and you cannot cook more than 30 seconds. So if it's not completely cooked, you have to give extra time, but you cannot put 1 minute, for example. You have to let it rest. So I'm gonna add another 15 seconds until we finish. The first time is like 30 seconds, then it's around 30. We're gonna start with the merengue. So we are almost finished. Now our biscuit.
I'm sorry, I wondered actually if we could remove the headphones so that we can actually hear the mixing and stuff, the sounds of that, if that was possible.
I don't have headphones.
Okay, because all the background sounds are kind of gone.
So I'm adding albumina and sugar. So this merengue will have the albumina of the egg white plus dry albumina to be more strong.
Can you just say that again? It's got the egg white and what to make it more strong?
Albumina, that's the protein of the egg whites. So it's basically like a double protein merengue. So it holds better when we cook.
Okay, and is that something that you buy separately?
Yeah, and
Okay.
you find it in every market. You buy like
Egg white.
It's like egg whites in powder.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So it's very high protein as well then. So it's very nutritious.
Azul. ¿Dónde estás? This is what happens with the biscuit. And we're gonna break it. And now I'm gonna liquid real beans. Slowly graba aquí adentro. So the reason why we put albumina to this merengue is because the water of the beans is gonna water the amount of protein in the egg white. So we need to compensate the water of the beans with the water with the protein of the egg white in powder. That way we have a meringue that is strong, and we're gonna put it in the silpat and start dehydrating.
Can I ask, you said that it was to do with egg whites. Is there a vegan substitute for this?
Yes. So the vegan substitute is here. We use. If you want to do vegan merengue, you will need what's called aquafaba. Aquafaba is las fabas son like it could be chickpeas, or you can use also white Spanish black beans, and the water the protein, they let out a lot of protein to the water. So what you do is you put santangon, aquafaba, the sugar, and the puree, but with much less water, and do the meringue, and it will work. It will be a little bit airy than the meringue with egg whites, but it will work. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put tal, vos, esta no es hidratación en sándwich, ¿cierto?
Y lo decía,
No, pero en sándwich es en sándwiches y fácil.
no,
So we're gonna take this to the dehydrator.
de arriba, chef.
Sí, pero si no tengo. So you can even cook it like around 140 to 150 in the oven, or you can leave it overnight in the dehydrator. And we go out, we have this. So I'm putting powdered sugar to the black bean chicharrones. So we're gonna start plating. If you have any questions, you can write them and I can answer while I'm plating. Sí.
Eso es lo que estoy viendo, chef. No, no ha escrito nadie.
Sorry, I have a question. What actually inspired you to put beans into a recipe like this?
When I was young, I didn't eat beans or any grain. And when my daughter was born, we decided that we were gonna raise her as with a plant-based diet for her health. So as a chef, I had to start exploring new textures, not the traditional ways of cooking beans or chickpeas or lentils. So we start because in Colombia you just boil them, a little bit of salt, maybe some vegetables like carrot or onions, and you bake them and you eat them like a stew. And I didn't like it at that time. So what I did is I started exploring textures because I didn't believe that with one ingredient you just can't do one recipe, which was the traditional way of doing it in Colombia. That was a stew. So we started exploring a lot of recipes and a lot of textures, and we ended with the challenge of bringing this to the sweet world. Bueno, vamos a poner.
And these are recipes that are on your menus, are they, across your restaurants?
Yes. Yes, we have some. We change the menu every 3 months, so some of them have been or will be, or we explore different textures, not necessarily the exact dessert of this, but we have had these chicharrones like in 3 of our restaurants, the meringue in many desserts.
Do you have any other recipes where you incorporate beans in like a weird way that other people might not have heard
We
of?
have a lot of recipes in our restaurants. We create around 300 recipes in all the restaurants per year. So we do what was it, chocolate bonbons. So we have here the textures of the black beans with the chicharron black bean, the merengue, of black beans, the biscuit, and the ice cream of milk and whiskey.
That looks amazing. How many tries did it take you to make that recipe to get it right?
This recipe, it more than tries. What we do is we try different textures. So one day we are cooking meringues, and we try different types of meringues. Then we are trying dehydrated beans, or some days we are trying ice creams. So what we do is we separate that cooking part into textures, and then like thinking the new menu, we have a lot of options that we have, for example, this is a wild rice cooked in black bean water. So they take a little bit of the flavor of the beans, and then we dehydrate it after cooking it, and then we fry it, and it's crunchy, and it's wild rice cooked in the water of the black bean. We have here, for example, we were trying. This is like a sweet onion petal. So we cook it in water with a little bit of sugar, dehydrated, and we can, for example, add it to the dessert. I didn't put it today because it didn't have beans, but these are things that we're trying. So when we get the dessert to the restaurant, may have this one, for example. That is the sweeted onion.
And is this a really popular dish? Oh, I'm sorry, we both went in at the same time. Joe, do you want to go?
I was just saying that's me eating that in front of us.
Y eso es ella comiendo enfrente de los otros.
So you can prepare it. It's really easy, as you can see. All the ingredients you can find it in any market. If you don't have a dehydrator in your home, the best way to dehydrate at home is you put the oven like in full speed for half hour, and you put it off, leave it open like 10 minutes, and then off, and then you put everything and leave it overnight, and the oven will start losing temperature with the things you want to dehydrate overnight, and will dehydrate it. Dehydrate them. In a regular home oven. I don't know if you have any questions.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, how popular is that dish in your restaurants? Is it one of the more popular ones?
Okay.
El postre.
So the good thing about El Cielo is that we have one tasting menu. So everybody will try the same.
Habla.
So everybody will have the same. Everybody will have the same menu. So we have around 3,000 people that taste every menu in each restaurant during 3 months. After the 3 months, we take out that menu and create a new one.
Is that dessert really sweet or is it less sweet?
No, I like our desserts to be balanced, not over sweetened.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the biscuit is the plain part. It's a little bit sweet, but it's plain. This one has add a lot of sweetness. The chicharron is not sweet. At the end, I put a little bit of powdered sugar, but in the recipe it doesn't have any sweetness, so it adds a lot more balance. And the whiskey ice cream, the whiskey like kind of the alcohol cuts a lot of the sweetness, so it's a really balanced dessert.
Got you. Thanks.
I love these meringues.
Very clever dessert, actually, because you have got the nutritious side to it, and you're using such a healthy base, which is the legumes. So it's very clever how you can turn it into something quite appealing. That's good.
So that's why we wanted to do a dessert, because doing salt recipes for us is less challenging because we are more used to cook beans like in with salt, like salty, not in the pastry. So
Yeah,
that's why we chop
yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah, and presumably you can add fruit as well to it if you wanted to make it look different, or I don't know. Have you done that as well? Fruit, adding fruit, maybe some
Yes.
berries or anything else that's seasonal, that's exciting.
The last time we did a sweet black bean puree with a lulo, that is a fruit from Colombia, marmalade, and that was the feeling of the bonbons we were talking about like 10 minutes ago. Yeah,
Right.
you can mix. You can mix. This merengue will go in a fruit dessert, very like with orange or citrus or even ginger.
Yeah, ginger would be good. Yeah, yeah, really great.
You can put ginger powder to this meringue, and it will add that ¿cómo se dice? Como ese picor.
Hot, it'd be a bit hot,
Tangy.
tangy. Oh, great.
You add, and it won't change the recipe.
So what's the texture of what you're eating now? Is it soft or a little bit crunchy?
No, it's a cracker.
It's a cracker. Okay. Yeah. 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 Wow.
I eat
Gosh.
them all day.
Looks so good.
And this has a lot of protein because it has the albumin of the egg white, the albumin of the powdered egg white, and the protein of the bean that usually the black bean has between 8.8 and 9 grams per every 100 grams of bean. So it's good protein.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. First class protein, which is great.
So I don't know if you have any more questions.
About your restaurants. Do you have what locations do you have your restaurants in the UK?
We have locations. We have El Cielo. This restaurant has Medellín, Bogotá, Miami, and Washington. So Colombia and US.
Oh, okay. So there's none in the UK at the moment.
No, and we have another 8 restaurants of different cuisines, 2 bars, and 1 hotel.
Oh wow!
In the hospitality group, yeah.
So you need to come to the UK then.
Yeah, come to London.
I lived there when I was a kid, when I was like 8 years old.
Yeah, London would welcome you. I think you'd be great. A restaurant in London.
I'd love to go back.
Yeah, be great.
I love it.
Oh, that's good.
I have to plan a cooking class there.
Yeah. But it's different as well. I think the South American influence is really interesting, and there's so many ingredients that people don't really know what to do with. So, you know, when you can cook them so cleverly, and these are, you know, they're actually quite cheap ingredients, easy to get hold of, very convenient, but sometimes we just don't make them interesting. So this is, you know, a really nice way to do that.
For example, I cook my daughter every morning. I have a superfood mix that I make at home that has around 70 ingredients, in which superfoods, in which part of the 10 principles are 3 types of beans. And I do a waffle every morning to her, and it has 70 superfoods, super ingredients, and I put the agave syrup that doesn't get the sugar in the blood high. So she doesn't eat flour, she doesn't eat gluten, she doesn't eat refined sugars, and she eats every morning like 70 superfoods between with beans in it, and it's a waffle, and she eats like a waffle.
She probably loves it. How lucky. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, you have, you know, when you can make everything into a flour, you have so much opportunity to make the nutrition so much better. So yeah, really, really great. She's lucky.
Yes. So thank you very much for being here. I hope you inspire to do a lot of recipes and to break a little bit, just to stew the beans and do a lot of textures. Beans are a superfood that is really, really, really good, really healthy, really cheap. Because when you see in terms of the cost of the food cost of everything nowadays, it's a really cheap ingredient, very versatile, very novel, and it's delicious. So I encourage you to try a lot of textures and start creating new recipes with beans.
Thank you
Amazing.
so
Yeah,
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for your time, everyone. And we'll send everyone who attended the ingredients and the recipes so that you can try them at home.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much. Thanks, Juan.
Thank
Okay.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.